The tossing of the garter has been a wedding tradition for centuries, but before it was an airborne good luck charm for eligible bachelors, the garter had a more practical purpose. In the 18th century, stockings were known to slide down a woman's leg, which was considered inconvenient and unladylike. Garters, typically worn below the knee, secured the stocking to the leg and prevented them from falling.
A garter is anything that is used to hold something up.
A garter belt, of course, goes around the waist and traditionally has 4 to 12 garters.
Girdles were so restrictive and uncomfortable. Garter belts were a wonderful way for women to hold their stockings up without additional pain.
While the garter was a solution for slippery stockings, the garter toss at weddings has its roots in an unseemly tradition of the past.
I guess it's kind of sleazy if you think about it.
Yes.
In 14th century Europe, legend has it that acquiring a piece of the bride's dress brought about good fortune. This led to the destruction of many dresses, as impatient wedding guests ripped off a piece of the garment for themselves.
Is that true?
I believe in the power of the garter belt. It makes sense to me for so many reasons. First of all, I can't really stand pantyhose. First wrestle them on, suddenly you put a hole in it the first time you're wearing it. With stockings, that doesn't happen. If you get a run in one, you just throw it out. You put another one on. And it creates a perfect frame on a woman's body. It's classic, it's sophisticated, it's elegant. I'm calling for a return to the garter belt because it just makes sense.
I think the reason that cowboy hats are still so sacred, not just special, but sacred, is that it's part of what makes America, America.
I have such fond memories of cowboy hats because, you know, I'm from the South and my first crushes all wore cowboy hats.
It's generally believed that the cowboy hat was the hat that won the West, but this isn't entirely the case. Before the inception of the cowboy hat, people in the Wild West wore whatever hat they could find. Formal top hats, sailor hats, and even leftovers from the Civil War. Enter John Stetson, the son of a master hatter who added his own touch to the Wild West. Legend has it that Stetson was on a hunting trip when, as a joke to entertain his companions, he fashioned a hat with an oversized brim. Realizing the rain and sun-blocking benefits of the design, Stetson decided to keep it for the remainder of the trip. In fact, he kept it for good. And as he continued throughout the West, people took notice.
The story apparently goes that while riding in the West, he was approached by another horseman, offered to buy it, and produced a $5 gold piece.
So in 1865, he rented a small room, bought some tools, and $10 worth of fur. The John B. Stetson Hat Company was born, and people bought what he was selling.
When it comes to the cowboy hat, 3 people come immediately to mind. Johnny Cash, he looked criminally good in one. Darrell Winfield, better known as the Marlboro Man. No one ever wore it better than Cleavon Little, the sheriff of Blazing Saddles. And no one ever will.
But everybody should not wear a cowboy hat. Let me put that out there.